Assalamualaikum
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. My name is Dinara Safina, absent number 8 as a reporter.
My name is Raden Roro Zahra, absent number 26 as the news reader.
My name is Zaidan Pamungkas, absent number 33 as source.
Today we're going to be performing our news item practical exam. Good evening. Back with me, Zahra Namira. You're watching TPU TV, bringing you the latest from around the globe. All holidaymakers traveling by air, sea, or land anywhere in Indonesia will have to undergo a polymerase chain reaction or PCR test as the government moves to avert another COVID-19 wave ahead of the year-end holiday. Currently, only air passengers traveling to Java and Bali, as well as COVID-19 high-risk regions in the country, must present negative PCR test results. Foreign tourists from 19 countries allowed entry into Indonesia for mid-October have to provide 3 negative PCR test results and undergo quarantine. The planned move to extend the testing regime has led to concerns in the tourism industry that the cost for the test could dampen enthusiasm for holidays, particularly among Indonesians. The effort was, in part, hastened due to concerns regarding the recent case of media personality Rachel Venya, who escaped mandatory quarantine. The Transport Ministry said the measure was introduced as airlines were already allowed to carry more than 70% of an aircraft's capacity. On Sunday, the government began requiring PCR tests for all air passengers. The cost was capped at 495,000 rupiahs for a test in Java and Bali and 525,000 in other regions. However, the Indonesian government has now officially lowered the test, with the price having been cut to 275,000 rupiah, while in other islands, the maximum price is capped at 300,000. Our correspondent, Dinara Safina, is in the field, currently with Mr. Zaidan Pamungkas, the general manager of the Bali-based Art Hotel in Sanur, one of the many people out there greatly affected by this new regulation. Here's what Mr. Pamungkas has to say. Dinara, do we have you?
Yes. Thank you, Zahra. Good evening, everybody. I'm currently at the Art Hotel Sanur with the hotel's general manager, Mr. Zaidan. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, miss.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm amazing. Thanks. So, sir, what do you think about the new regulation that has been set by the government?
Well, I'm a businessman. I have family that I need to feed at home. I'm very worried. Guests have already canceled their reservations because of the latest measure. With the taxes, certainly there are additional costs for them to have a vacation in Bali. Only guests who have the extra budget to cover the tax costs can go on holiday. Those who have set a fixed holiday budget will retain their plans as the additional costs are quite significant.
So, is it true that back then the hotel welcomed more tourists when the restriction were eased in Bali around mid-September?
Yeah, that's right, but it was back then. At the time, the occupancy rate gradually climbed from 8% to 30%. Now, because of the new rule, the number of tourists has gradually decreased.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. So, do you think you have any solution in mind regarding this situation, sir?
If we want to revive tourism, the PCR tests should not be required for all transport modes taken by the tourists. It is sufficient to have been fully vaccinated and take antigen tests. It's likely going to be hard to stimulate public demand for travel if the mandatory PCR test requirement is applied.
I see. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaidan, for your time. Coordinating Mr. Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment Luhut Panjaitan has said that The PCR test policy will serve to balance the recent relaxation of restrictions on mobility around the country. Citing a transport ministry survey, he said 19.9 million people in Java and Bali will be traveling for the year-end holidays, of which 4.45 million will be on the move around Jakarta and its surrounding satellites. He reiterated that Indonesia will take a cautious approach to ease curbs and enforce strict health protocols to avert transmission of COVID-19. Indonesia reopens Bali to foreign visitors, but COVID-19 rules threaten them to keep them away. Indonesia suffered spikes in infection after long holiday periods, particularly during Christmas last year and around New Year and Hari Raya this year, when many people traveled with their families and friends. Back to Ara at the studio.
Daily cases peaked above 50,000 in July after Hari Raya, overwhelming the country's already fragile healthcare system. Once the worst hit by the pandemic across Southeast Asia, the country reported 719 cases and 29 deaths on Wednesday, bringing the total number of infections and fatalities in the sprawling archipelago to 4.2 million and 143,299 respectively. I am Zahra Namira of TPU TV, bringing you the latest from around the globe. Good evening.
Yeah, that is all from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.